Good afternoon. Now this is a little bit different kind of video than I've done before, but let me explain what I'm doing because I would love to provide some helpful tips on how to make cast iron very easy to maintain if you've never used it before. This is my first griddle, stovetop griddle. I bought it because I wanted to use it for camping as well. I have not done that yet. But what I'm doing here is I am actually cleaning off the residue, whatever cooked off of meat. I believe steak was cooked on this. And it looks intimidating to clean. You don't want to actually use soap and water unless you really have to. But if you do, you need to re-season the cast iron. And re-seasoning is just basically, lathering it in oil on all sides and then putting it in the oven, or doing it on the stove top, wiping the surface completely clean. But this little technique I learned in my days working in a mountain lodge, and they had tremendous cooktops. And what you do is you get your griddle, well, it's nice and hot at the end of the day, you've got a mess of all sorts of things of grease and whatnot. But you just turn the heat to low, you pour oil on it, and actually you turn it probably to medium high. And then you let it sit for a moment till the oil is quite hot, not spattering certainly. Use a wooden utensil, spatula type utensil, and then just progressively just move the oil over the surface and scrape as you go. And just return to the surfaces and just take your time with it, and it is worth it because this is not only going to be seasoned and nice and clean when I'm finished, but cast iron is beautiful because it retains like flavor in a way that really I think is unparalleled. It's almost like the love that you give to it when you cook your food. It kind of captures a piece of that love, but certainly you don't want it to be gritty or, old bits and whatnot. Okay, so take your time to do this. And now, my heat is now off, actually, and I'm just scraping because the last step, once you feel that you've gotten everything up from all the grooves and bits, just scrape it into the middle, or where you can best sop it up. And then, pardon the waste in using this, but you can also use a dedicated rag. But you literally just scoop it up. Now, certainly at the mountain lodge, you just scraped it into like a vat, and it went into a giant vat that went into another vat down, and then went down the hill. But in your home kitchen, you think about it, you're making sausages and pancakes, and you've got all sorts of bits, stuck to the griddle when you're done. All you have to do is just turn the heat back on the griddle after you've done your dishes, or as you're doing your dishes, and then you just do this process. It takes just but a few minutes. But look at that. So, knowing this little cleaning technique really made the difference in me wanting to learn how to use cast iron cookware. And the real reason is it's just like any other cookware that you use. It impacts the surface, impacts how the food cooks, the flavor even, how quickly it cooks, evenly and whatnot. And I taught myself how to use stainless steel in the last decade or so, and prefer that. And it's funny, when I use other surfaces, I just am conscious that, okay, I don't need to, I need to go for a higher heat or a lower heat. But with cast iron cooking, you put this little cast iron over medium heat and let it work its magic. I do also use a silicone spatula on the surface. Like when I'm making pancakes, I scoop it up with this instead of a wooden spatula. But there you go. It's all done. Rub all of the surfaces. And you're ready for your next round of brekkie. I hope this helps. And have a wonderful October.